You know, it's always better to be cautious about everything, including a scheduled press conference. Let's see if that press conference, a media conference call, takes place as per plan and with Chanda Kochhar only addressing the media. If she does that, it'll mean a lot of uncomfortable questions from journalists as well. So let's see if that takes place or not. But you know, this board meeting is going to be tracked not just for the numbers and the results, but for what it is that the board discusses or does not discuss against all the allegations that have been made against Chanda Kochhar, her immediate family, corporate nexus in giving out loans to corporates like Videocon. We've seen a recent media report also of a quid pro quo being alleged with respect to SR. So, you know, will the board discuss the controversy around Chanda Kochhar? There is a government nominee as well on the board, Lok Ranjan from the Department of Financial Services, which in a very interesting twist became the new government nominee only once this entire Chanda Kochhar controversy came to light. The government had changed its nominee. So will Lok Ranjan use today's board meeting to pressurize the chairman to take up all of these issues? LIC has a 9.4% stake in ICICI. Will LIC leverage today's board meeting on earnings to bring up Chanda Kochhar? What's also very crucial to note and remind our viewers is that the last time when the board met and came out in full support for Chanda Kochhar, both the government nominee and the LIC chairman did not attend that meeting. They skipped that meeting, and despite them not being a part of that meeting, we did see the rest of the board come out in full support for Chanda Kochhar. There have been plenty of media reports since then about how the board may now be divided. Is it time to reconsider a new CEO? Is it time to reconsider support to CEO? These are some of the questions that the entire community, all the stakeholders are watching out for very, very closely. But for the other part of the story, which is, of course, on the numbers, let's go across to Poonam Sahni for that. Poonam, what is it that the street is expecting? While they would like some clarity on the entire allegations on our corporate nexus and some details on that, strictly speaking, in the quarter under review, what is it that the street is expecting?
Besides the results, of course, a lot of interest and a lot of attention would also be there in terms of what the board picks up in terms of the recent ICICI Bank Videocon conflict. But just before that, just in terms of the results, it's likely to be pretty much a weak quarter for ICICI Bank. It's likely to report a profit degrowth of close to around 52%. A profit of 980 crore is likely. And do note that had it not been for the recent stake sale in ICICI Securities, the bank would have in fact reported a loss in Q4. Speaking about the results, again, margin pressure is likely, margins are likely to dip by 8 to 10 bips sequentially. We should be seeing substantially higher slippages on account of the recent impact of the February 2018 circular. And of course, the recent ICICI security stake sale should be giving bank nearly around 3,000 to 3,500 crore, and that itself should be supportive of the overall profitability. But otherwise, they should be seeing a significant amount of high rise in provisions. On the loan growth front, it's likely to be a loan growth of nearly around 10 to 12%. But most important, again, watch out for the management commentary of the entire impact of the February 2018 RBI circular. That should give a significant rise in terms of the overall NPAs. Would the bank take all the impact upfront, or would it again spread over in the next H1 also? That would be important to be watched out for. Besides that, rumors are going on that maybe we do see ICICI Bank MD CEO resignation. Well, this is a rumor, but any commentary on this aspect would be fairly important given the context of the recent ICICI Bank Videocon conflict of interest that's been going on in the CBI investigations that are going on. So far, the board has been fairly supportive of Chanda Kochhar, but having said that, we should also be seeing this will be the first board meeting rather of the government nominee Lok Ranjan. There is a possibility that any of the board members in fact picks up this issue again in today's board meeting, and if at all that is the case, commentary from the board and any clarity further in terms of this entire controversy would be fairly beneficial. Overall, if you look at the stock is up nearly around 10% from the recent April lows, and some of the brokerages are still bullish given the attractive valuations.
Thanks, Poonam, for that. We'll wait and watch for the numbers. Let's get some perspective from an analyst at SBI Securities is now joining us. Krishnan. Krishnan, what is your view in terms of expectation from ICICI Bank? Do you think that they would report a loss in Q4 and they would have to take a big cleanup?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me on the show. Possibly, yes. I mean, if not for the proceeds from the ICICI Securities stake sale, it's possible that ICICI Bank could have reported a loss during Q4, given accelerated recognition as well as accelerated provisioning that may be required.
This is Nayanthara from the New Delhi studio. Now, ICICI Bank, according to our poll, and what the expectation is, the trend we've seen may report higher slippages thanks to the new RBI circular, that one that came out in February 2018 on classification of NPAs and the various instruments that now exist. What are your expectations?
We were working with a stress pool of roughly around 200 billion rupees, 200 billion for ICICI Bank, a little over that, and we were expecting more than half of that to be recognized in the March quarter. However, having said that, given what we have seen in the case of Axis Bank, there is a high possibility that you could have nearly 80% of that pool being recognized during the March quarter, and if so, then I think a lot of the cleanup will probably happen here and now, which would be the March 2018 quarter. And that remains the monitorable for us, more than reported PAT, whether it's loss, whatever it is. I think what we are looking for is how much of the cleanup can be is over and done with in the March quarter.
All right, we'll let you go on that one, Krishnan. I'm afraid we're a little bit out of time, so we'll have to call it a day then. Thanks so much for joining in.